Let's go to our template. Face 1000. Coupon rate is fixed. We said 6%, right? Yeah. It's a 10-year bond. YTM, we don't know. Coupon frequency is 2. But my target value is 1050. Okay. I'm going to kind of make this blue because this is the thing we play around with. Well, let's make it a different shade of red, green. Okay. Okay. I want the yield to maturity. That's going to give me exactly a bond value that's exactly the same as the target value, which means the difference will be 0, right? We have done this sort of stuff in this class, but if you don't remember, under data tab, we have what if analysis, goal seek. Make that difference 0 by changing what I don't know, yield to maturity. Turns out, yield to maturity of 534.79 is going to give me exactly that. All right. Remember the distinction. The coupon rate is a choice made by the issuer at the time of the issue, and it remains fixed. You can have a 0 coupon, you can have 30% coupon. But yield to maturity is a market determined rate. It is the rate at which market is discounting the cash flows from this bond, and that varies over time. Example, rates, US 10-year. Let's look at the chart of the last 3 years. This is the implied 10-year rate for US Treasuries. You know, about 3 years ago, it was about 115. You know, in fact, that was before even COVID started. And it went as low as about 0.53% at the height of COVID lockdowns. About 3 months ago, it was as high as 4%. Now it's 392. So it varies over time, depending upon how market perceives the proper discount rate should be. That means bonds, especially longer term bonds, as an investment are risky. The risk is not about default. If you buy the bonds of Treasury, the chances that Treasury will default on them is practically 0, unless you have a Democratic president and a Republican portion of Congress who wants to not increase the debt limit. Then U.S. may default on them, which is not going to happen. There's going to be some sort of gamesmanship played. Somebody's going to get a pound of flash from somebody, create volatility, but other than that, it's not going to happen. Even technically, I mean, U.S. has a weird monetary system. U.S. is the only country where the authority to issue paper currency does not belong with the treasury of the country. In fact, Federal Reserve, a lot of people don't know. technically is not owned by the US government. It's owned by the individual regional banks, which are private entities. But they have a charter, they have to serve in the interest of the public. The US Treasury has only authority to mint coins. You know, dollar coin. Hopefully, they should have $2 coins pretty soon. Quarters, pennies, nickels, what have you. But there is nothing in law that says the US Treasury cannot mint a coin, maybe the size of this computer, that's worth 1 trillion US dollars. If they do so, all they have to do is take that coin to the Federal Reserve, deposit it into Treasury's account, and Treasury has to extend them. The Fed has to extend them access to cash. Either they use Fed's existing cash or Fed prints money to support that. So technically speaking, there is no chance that the government is not going to pay a bond that is denominated its own currency. I mean, even Russia paid its geckos back in '98. The geckos are they're affectionately known as geckos because of the Russian initial GKOs for ruble-denominated government bonds. Back in August '98, Russian government, president was Boris Yeltsin then, declared a moratorium on foreign currency payments. They told him, if you want it in rubles, we'll pay you in rubles. Because nobody did. But there was no problem with paying the ruble-denominated government bonds. They just paid them. The ruble wasn't worth much anymore. Before the moratorium, $1 bought you about 6 rubles, 6.30. Right after it went to 30. Okay, which means ruble lost about 80% of its value. I mean, now it's what, around 100? Let me see. Sorry, USD ruble. Oh, 75. I mean, it went rather high when the war first started. But even now, there is no international market. So who knows what will happen to ruble once the normal things happen. Now, just because these guys don't have any default risk doesn't mean they're not risky. Let's think about 3 years ago. You bought a 10-year bond at 115.6, okay? Let's assume that was a 2% bond. Treasury tends to fix the coupon rates close to the, let's actually make it 125, close to the yield to maturity. So that bond was worth $1,008 at the time I bought it. Let's do this. Old price. I'm going to copy and paste the values. Now 3 years has passed. This bond is now a 7-year bond. But let's see what happened to the current rate. 392.6. That bond is now worth percentage gain or loss. New price divided by the old price minus 1. It's about 17% loss, but let's make sure that this is in capital gain or loss. That's not your full loss because for 3 years you collected coupons. Coupons collected. We collected 6 of 625s. So total percentage loss. New price plus coupons collected divided by the old price. So I still lost some money despite having collected coupons for 3 years. This is called the interest rate risk. Are subject to the risk that value of bond holdings will go down when interest rates go up. Such a risk, such interest rate risk is higher for longer maturities and lower for higher coupons.